Hey guys, it's Jen here from Nails by Jen. Welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time to my channel, welcome to my channel. So I'm coming at you today with another watch me work video. Now this client does not like to do themed nails, so I didn't want to do anything Halloween themed, but I also wanted to still give her something that was kind of a little bit dark. So what I did was a smoky look with chrome, and they turned out pretty awesome. So if this is something you're interested in, stick around, keep watching. As always, don't forget to click that like and subscribe for me, and let's get started. Alright guys, so I am going to start off by debulking her nails and taking them down to the thin clear layer that I put in before applying all her color. Now the set that you're seeing me remove right now, I did a watch me work video on that as well. I will share that link below for you guys. Now she generally just asks me to take the growth out. She likes the way that her nails are now and the length that they are now. So when she comes in for her fills, we just take off that little tiny bit at the free edge, and that way it also sharpens up that shape for her. So I have mentioned before in other videos that I prefer to use the 4X carbide bit. Those are my absolute favorite for cutting through acrylic. I just find that they cut through it way better than any other bit that I have tried in the past. So if you haven't watched any of my Watch Me Work videos before, you will notice that I have a vacuum hose there. So to the left of my desk, I actually have a shop vac that is built into a cabinet, and the hose comes out the side of the cabinet and sits along my desk. This is the system that I have found works the best. I've tried so many different things. It is a bit loud, but it definitely works the best so far. And next I'm going to go in with my cuticle pusher, and I'm going to gently push back the eponychiums, exposing all of that dead skin, or the cuticle as we know it. So then I'm going to go in with my hand file, and I'm going to reshape the nails, sharpen up that free edge, and remove any little bits of lifting if there are any. Now I like to use a 100 grit file, but you will notice that her file has been previously used because I do store my clients' files, and they are great to use over the natural nail because they have lost some of their grit from using them on the previous set. And by the time I am done shaping and blending any lifting, I'm ready to get a new file for her new set. So next I am going in with my e-file and a cuticle bit, and I'm removing all of the cuticle. Now this bit I believe is called the Skiver bit from Erica, and generally when I am removing cuticle I will turn my e-file to about half speed. Now that's when I'm using my Erica e-file, but my Erica motor actually just conked out on me, so I have pulled out my other one, which is a Primosa, and I'm definitely noticing the Primosa, although both of them are labeled at 30,000 RPMs, the Primosa seems to be a bit more powerful, so I've actually had to turn it down a little bit below the halfway point. You just want to do it very lightly. We are not trying to dig through the natural nail, it's just to remove the cuticle. And next I am removing all of the dust and debris with my prep solution, which is a 50-50 mix of 99% alcohol and 100% acetone. I just use this little brush to really get in all of the cuticle area and get all of those dust particles out, and then you will see me apply 2 coats of primer and get ready to apply our acrylic. Alright, so now I'm going to build her nails using a custom acrylic mix using 2 parts cover pink and 1 part crystal pink. Now that all 10 fingers have been built with that custom pink, I'm going to go through and shape the nails and get them ready for the nail art. So you might notice the color of my file changed. So the ones that I prefer from On Vogue are the pink ones. They are the 100/100 grit like I mentioned. But I ran out of those files and I found some of these ones in my stash. So I'm not sure exactly what grit these ones are. I don't believe that they're 100/100. They might be 100/180. So it worked just fine. I'm just going to go through all 10 fingers and reshape them, sharpen up that free edge, and give her a slightly tapered in square. So if you notice, there is a little spot in the middle of that thumb, and what that is actually a little hardened piece of acrylic that must have been in my wet bead, and it just ends up looking like a little clear spot. It really didn't matter. I saw it when I was building the nail, but I knew I was going to be putting that black smoke over top, so I'm just going to be applying that black smoke and making sure that I cover that little area there, but it's really not that big of a deal. And finally, I'm going to go back in with that cuticle bit and I'm going to go around the cuticle area, just making sure that the acrylic is nice and smooth and it has a nice transition to the natural nail so that when it grows out, there's not a big bump or a big hump where the acrylic meets the natural nail. So for the smoked effect, I am using the Young Nail Stain Resistant, which is my favorite top coat, but you can use any top coat you like, and also a black gel polish. I'm using the one here from Madame Glam called Perfect Black. And I'm just using one of my nail art brushes. It's an old one that I've had forever. It's a detailer brush I got off of Amazon or eBay. I believe it was eBay. So I'm going to start off by putting a little dollop of my black gel polish onto my palette. I just use a tile that I purchased from Home Depot, and you don't need a lot. We're not going to be needing a lot of the black. And then I'm going to be applying a thin layer, a very, very thin layer. This is just kind of like a slip layer of the top coat to the nail. Now I have not buffed these nails. I find that if I'm applying gel polish or any kind of a full design like this, I do not buff the nail. I find that the product just sticks a lot better when it has the grooves from the hand file. Now I'm not going to cure that layer of top coat. I'm going to take my gel polish and I'm going to apply it with my brush right into that wet top coat. Now what you will notice is I was just kind of playing around here with the design. I didn't know exactly how I wanted the pattern to go, and I actually didn't end up liking this one. I tried adding a little bit of alcohol and then it spread way too much, so I end up wiping it off and starting all over. Now, once you are happy with the design that you have, I would advise sticking it in the lamp and not doing all 4 fingers. Because you've put that top coat on, the gel polish is going to start to spread really, really slowly. Now, if you went through and did all 4 fingers, by the time you got finished the pointer finger, that pinky finger would have spread way too much. So I do advise after each application, sticking it in the light to cure. And as you can see, I went with a different pattern and I liked this one much better by starting in the center of the nail, pushing down and creating a larger area, and then slowly lifting my brush and kind of dragging it outwards. I much preferred this design over the first attempt. Now I'm going to go in with a no wipe top coat. I've got this one here from Kiara Sky, and I'm going to cure that for 1 minute. And then I'm going to use the Coco and Claire, one of their chromes. It's called Eternity, and I'm going to burnish that into the no wipe top coat. So usually I use the Coco and Claire silicone tool to burnish in my chromes, but because she has such a large nail, it would have taken a little bit longer. So I just use a finger condom and I'm dipping my finger into that chrome, and then I'm just going to rub it onto the nail. Something you want to keep in mind when you are using a little finger condom like this, you want to make sure that you do not bend down your finger at all if you have nails on, because what can happen is as you're moving up and down the nail, the tip of your fingernail can actually scratch into that chrome, and then you'll end up with a scratch mark, and it is not easy to fix. So just make sure that you kind of bend your finger upwards if you can, just to make sure you don't get any scratch marks. And the last step is just to add your top coat. So I always do 2 coats of top coat over my chrome, and then you're ready to go. Alright guys, so that is it for another Watch Me Work video. I hope that you enjoyed it. Now if you have clients who are not overly into Halloween or overly into Halloween themed nails, this is a perfect design for that. The pictures and the video honestly do not do it justice. They were really, really cool in person. You could just see that little bit of smoky effect underneath the chrome, and the chrome shifts from like a purpley pinky color to a greeny gold color. Very, very cool. So if you enjoyed this video, guys, please share it with someone else. If you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comment section below. And as always, have an amazing day.